Good morning. We are chasing the sun, and I just wanted to show you. We found some blue skies here. We're in Pennsylvania, just outside of Scranton. Completely different day today than it was yesterday. I rode in rain pretty much all day yesterday, and it looks like I'm a day late from finding the sun from where I thought I would be, but this is fine. Checked the weather this morning in Cleveland, Tennessee. It was 58 degrees, quite a bit colder here. I think we're just on the verge of having frost here in Pennsylvania, but turning out to be a really nice day. I saw that it's going to be in the 80s down south. Part of why I'm riding here, even feeling ill. I would just like to get down there and taste some of those roads again. I'm on I-84 West, and this is really kind of a truck road. This is an 81 South. A lot of trucks. That's okay. We like trucks. We just don't like being next to trucks. So we just get by them, that's all. They don't mind. Dingman's Ferry. Had a good breakfast at the Best Western this morning. Eggs and sausage. I thought that maybe I was sick to my stomach because I hadn't had a lot to eat yesterday. So I ate. And honestly, it really didn't make me feel any better. Matter of fact, it might have made me feel a little worse. But we're just going to take this minute by minute, see how the day goes. What are you going to do? That's kind of all you can do. That's kind of all you can do. I'm going to fire up that front camera there. So I was out getting my bike ready this morning, and yesterday I parked, when I got to the Best Western, there were 4 motorcycles parked out underneath the portico. When I pulled in, they said I could leave my bike there as well. I was out there this morning getting my bike ready, and the gentleman who owned the other bikes came out. They were getting on the road, and started talking to, the one that was parked closest to me started talking to me. I wish I had had my camera. He was a 71-year-old gentleman riding a 650 V-Strom. And he was with someone who was on a Shadow. Another guy was on a Can-Am RT Spider. And the third guy was also on an identical Suzuki V-Strom 650. And we had a nice conversation. The guy was 71 years old, still riding a motorcycle. Good on him. Big guy, too. And he was telling me that one of the guys, I think it was the guy on the Can-Am, was 81. And the baby, he said, the baby of the group was 69. So there's hope, I guess, for us bikers. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, not too long ago, I did a ride with OSJ, my friend Steve, and Steve's son Steven. And we went over to a place for breakfast called Fiddleheads in Hancock, New Hampshire. And we met a friend of ours from Vermont, a guy named Bill Brown. Bill Brown's 80 years old. And he's amazing. And I was going to interview Bill Brown for my Old Men, Old Iron, Old School video series. You'll be seeing some of those. And you might be part of some of those. if I can find you. Anyway, um, after breakfast, we went on a ride, just Jim, Bill Brown, and I. And I want to tell you something. This guy has downsized from BMW GS. That's typically what he was riding. He downsized to a BMW 310cc, I think, Thumper adventure bike. This guy rides like the wind. He really does, at 80 years old. Kind of gives me hope that I'll be able to do this for some more years. Well, I used to go on this forum and read about guys who were having to hang up their riding boots. They just didn't feel confident on a bike anymore. They didn't feel like they could maybe hold it up, and it was too big. And you know, every time I read one of those stories, and at the time I couldn't ride. Maybe it was because I identified with that, but every time I would read one of those stories about a guy hanging up his boots and saying, "That's it, it's time, I got to call it quits, I dropped my bike in the driveway," whatever it is that prompts somebody to say, "That's it, I'm done." I really kind of used to get very melancholic, almost choked up for them, because I know how much riding means to some people. It means a lot to me. And I always say this is my second love. My first love is my wife. And I've been riding longer than I've had a wife. So this is a really important thing to me. And for the 9 years that I couldn't do it, I couldn't drive my car on a curvy road without thinking about riding. Have you guys ever contemplated having to hang it up? I mean, I had to. I had no choice. I hung it up for 9 years. It wasn't because I wanted to. It wasn't because I felt I had to or needed to. I just couldn't ride. I couldn't sit on a motorcycle. I pushed it as long as I could by buying a cruiser and having my feet out in front of me. That only lasted a few years, and then it was just, I couldn't even pick my foot up to get it on a floorboard or a peg. I had to give it up. But if you don't have to give it up, and it's just a decision that you're going to have to make at some point, you guys ever thought about that? Have you guys ever thought what it'll mean to you to have to give up riding? Have you had situations in your life where you've had to give up riding for a while? How did it make you feel? I mean, I know how it made me feel. Every day I wanted to ride. Rain or shine, winter or summer. Excuse me. I'm just wondering how you guys would feel about having to give up riding, or if you have had to give up riding, or if you've contemplated the day you're going to have to give up riding and how that makes you feel. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there probably saying, "Hey, come on, what's the big deal? It's a motorcycle you're riding. Find another hobby." And there's probably some truth to that. But, I don't know. I can't, it's not that I don't have any other hobbies, or maybe I don't. Do I have any other hobbies? Yeah, I love to shoot. Yeah, guns. I love to go to the range, and that's something else I couldn't do. And I started shooting when I was in second grade. My dad took me to the range, bought me my first gun, a Ruger 6-shooter, kid size. And he would take 22 caliber. He would take me to the range every week. But we had a place up at Sugarloaf Mountain in A-frame. And when we would go up there on the weekends, we would take clay pigeons. And my dad had one of these launchers that we kept up there. You know, you cock it and then pull the string. And I loved shooting skeet. Oh, my goodness. That's the most fun. I probably need to join a gun club where I can go and do that whenever I want to. But that's really kind of I love photography. I've been a photographer as a hobby in a good portion of my life. You know, I think everybody is. Everybody loves to take pictures. But I don't take as many pictures now. I take mostly videos. And any pictures that I want to get, I get from still shots on the videos. But that's kind of it for for other hobbies from me. So you can see how important motorcycling is to me, at least. And I'm just wondering how it is with you. Have you thought about having to hang it up? Have you had to hang it up because of finances, because of health, because of family obligations?